Hi to all, myself E.Abinaya, Assistant Professor in the Department of Computer Science and Engineering in the Bharat Institute of Higher Education and Research. Today I am going to handle the paper Database Management System. Under this paper, I am going to discuss the topic called data mining techniques. First, the introduction to the data mining. Data mining is the non-trivial process of identifying the valid, novel, potentially useful, and ultimately understandable pattern from the given database. Today, the widespread of data, wide usage of the database, and explosive growth in the size of a data organization faced with the problem of information overload. Because the data is comparatively from the past two decades, the usage of the data, the usage of a digital format has been increased rapidly. So handling that whole the data is nearly a difficult task, and not only handling, the most important problem is the effective utilization of this massive data. Massive volume of data is becoming the major problem for the organization and entrepreneurs and everywhere. In order to put an end to this problem, we are using a technique called data mining. What is the main aim of the data mining is to, the data mining is technique support the massive automatic exploration of the data and patterns to the source of out patterns and trends in the data. And there and also infer some rules from the pattern which helpful for the user to view the data. Support give a review towards the data. Sometimes some of the data are used for the businesses, we are used for the business analysis also. This based on this automatic exploration of the data, we can able to find a new pattern from the data. By using that pattern is helpful for making the decision in the for the current problems and also used to predict the future. This is the one of the major role of data mining. Then data mining. In the data mining, what they are going to do means, again I am saying the amount of data is literally very large compared to the last decades. So first, what is the first step of data mining is to, first we have to analyze the data. First, it will analyze the data and find and discover any new patterns that can be gathered from the data. Based on the patterns, that patterns is helpful for making the decision for the current problem and also used to predict the future. Then for that we are using another thing is called as a KDD. KDD is a knowledge discovery on data. That is discovering some knowledge, that we are predicting some knowledge from the existing data. The literal definition of a data mining is that data mining is the non-trivial extraction of implicit, precisely unknown and potentially useful information from the data. KDD, knowledge discovery on data. The KDD is the process of discovering the useful knowledge from the collection of data. Usually, in the olden days, the data mining and the KDD process are done manually because the amount of data is very low. But we are using the cloud, internet, so we can able to get the massive amount of data. By analyzing the data and scanning the data and finding the pattern within the data and extracting the knowledge from the data pattern, it's really a difficult task. For that only, we are designing a software. What is the aim of this software? Is to automatically finding the hidden patterns from the data. Nowadays we are using this technique. KDD. KDD come up with nearly the 8 steps of process. First one is the data integrations. Where we are going to get the data? We are going to get the data from the huge database. The huge database contains the collection of various amount of data. Based on the queries, we are going to select the data. Where the main aim of data integration is the we have to collect the data from the multiple data source and combining into the single data, uh, multiple data source and combining into the single data. Then second process is the cleaning. In the first process, there is a possibilities for the inconsistency in the database because just we are collecting the data from the different database and making it combine. There is a possibilities for data inconsistency. That is the wrong data. The second one is just we are going to remove the wrong data. That process is called as the data cleaning. What is the main thing is to remove the noise and inconsistent data. That means the removing the wrong data and making our database into a consistent state. Then third one is the data selection. Based on the retrieved knowledge, we are relating the data. Analyzing the data and relating the common data. This is the first process in the KDD. The second one is the transformation. The transformation here, based on the selected data, we are using some aggregation function, that is algorithms like maybe base classification, association tool, and Bayesian classification. Using these algorithms and aggregation function, we are transforming the data to the consolidated form. We are transforming the data to the consolidated form. Next one is the data mining. We are going to extract the pattern. Here, based on the consolidated form, we are going to extract the new patterns. Extract the new pattern from the data. Then pattern evaluation. We have extract some data from the consolidated format. Then we are checking in this phase, that will be checking will be made, scanning will be made whether there is any interesting patterns, finding the interesting pattern from the data. Then the last stage is the knowledge presentation, showing the mind knowledge to the customer or the enterprise. Okay, this is the KDD process. Just we see with this diagram, it will be easy for us. First one is this is our data storage, either the secondary storage data. Okay, here based on the given query, we are going to select the data, that is data integrations. From the huge amount of data, we are going to select the data and we are from the heterogeneous data source, and then we are going to combine. That means we are just going to take the needed data from the database. The database is a collection of huge data. The huge data is not needed for this. Based on our current situations, we are just taking only the wanted data. Then after that integration, what is the second process? The second one is the data cleaning. That is in the integration state, there is a possibility for data inconsistency. In the cleaning state, just we are going to remove the noise and inconsistent data from the database. Then third thing is the selection. This we are going to relate the data. This process are done here. Okay, our data has been pre-processed, I will related the data. Then transformations, that is consolidated, creating a consolidated form of data. How can we create the consolidated form? Using some aggregation function, we can create the consolidated form. For example, using the Navy base classification, Bayesian classifications are n number of algorithms. Based on that we are just transforming into the consolidated format. Then data mining, finding the pattern in the data. Then data integration. So data interpretation evaluation. Here we are going to find the interesting pattern on the related, whether that is we can able to find you that is discovering the knowledge from that data, discovering the new knowledge from the data that is helpful for making us a decision and also predict the future also. That is the main aim of this thing. Then last one is the showing the displaying that knowledge to the customer user. This is the process in the KDD. This is the process in the KDD. Next one is the we are going to see about the data mining techniques. First one is the classification, clustering, regressions, and association. First first one is the classifications. Predicting the new item. Prediction of new item and identifying the class. Here we are going to separate the data into classes. And we are going to make the same classes into a group. Okay, same data into the classes. Consider the example. I am going to classify the data in the organization or the shop. Consider it is a shop, it is a supermarket. Okay, here I am just going to classify. The way I am going to classify that is the three groups. First one is the people have high level income, low level income, and high, middle, and low. I am going to predict the financial background of the customer. For that, I am taking two criteria. First one is how much amount they have purchased. Based on the amount, the financially high people may buy more products comparatively others. Then medium, little bit less, and low, then little bit less than the median. By that, I can able to predict the financial background. The second thing is the product that they are buying. Based on the product, what is the extra product, what is the unessential products, what they are buying. Based on that, I am going to classify into three classes. One is high, medium, and low. What is our aim? We are going to classify, we are going to find the financial background of the customers. Just suppose a new customer has been come, he is purchasing for amount of more than that beyond the half, that is equal to the high means, class high means just I put the customer into the block, into the class 1. Just I put the customer into the class 1. Suppose he has buying the only the essential product, needed product, and he has the number of times he has coming is very low. That means belonging to the low income. Likewise, we are doing that is called as the classification. Based on some criteria, we are classifying them and putting them into the class. This we are predicting. Okay. Then second thing is the clustering. Clustering is nothing. It is similar, grouping the similar data. Grouping the similar data into one part and the similar data into the another cluster. Cluster is grouping. For example, animal that is used for helpful in the animals taxonomy. We can able to predict based on the cells, based on the structures. We can able to predict it is a camel, it is a lion. Making the lion into reptiles into one field. Carnivores into one based on the futures. We are just analyzing and making into. There is no prediction. Just based upon the future, I am going to group them. For example, another example we can say it as a credit card fraud detection. What it means? Suppose a person is using the credit, he is entering the password 2 to 4 times wrong, means we can able to predict either he forget or he is the wrong person. Suppose he is forget means the OTP will send to him. We forget means he can recall it. Otherwise, no reply for the OTP means we can able to predict it is the fraud customer. Likewise, we can able to predict we are grouping them into one group and giving the alert to the police station. Okay. Then second one is the difference between the classification and cluster. For classification, clear knowledge is required because it has to know about the past history of the customer or the amount he is buying for the past and what are the goods he buy, whether it's a costly or low middle. That clear knowledge should be known for the classification. The clear knowledge is not required because based on the futures. Suppose if anatomy is studying about the cell means the cell future is similar to the animal tiger means we are just grouping into the cluster called tiger clusters. Based on the current situation only we are using. So clear knowledge is not required. Then assigning the new input to the class. Finding the new input to the cluster. Checking the futures. If futures matches the cluster means we are just putting into the group. Infinite set of input. Finite set of data. Okay, this is the difference between the classification and cluster. Then regression. Here, prediction of the value rather than the class. Just by using the number, we are predicting the value. Just by making the threshold, and just by predicting the number, by predicting the value, we are predicting the classes. Here, based on the number only, here the prediction is made. For example, based upon the age and gender, we can able to predict the height of a person. Correct? For example, suppose a girl baby belonging to age 5 and his gender girl means more commonly her height may be nearly 150 to 120. We can able to predict. That is called as a, either the result may be correct or wrong, that is not. Based on the given value, we are just predicting. It is only based on the numbers. That is called as the regressions. Then another important thing is association. Just we are using the association rule. Here it is based on the how often the event has been occurred. It is based on the how often the event has been occurred. Consider the example. Suppose a customer is going to buy a new laptop means he must buy probably 90% of the customers will buy softwares, scratch card, then cooling pad, likewise. That is the possibility. What they're trying to say means, so in the shopkeeper, suppose he's planning to buy a new computer means we are going to increase the stock of the computer means he has to increase the stock of softwares, scratch cards, cooling pad, mouse, and the accessories of the computer, because mostly 80 to 90% of a customer will buy that also. By that we can increase our profit. We are predicting if they are buying the new computer means they will definitely buy a new softwares and accessories towards that computer. The same thing, another example, bread plus jam. Bread plus jam. It is one of the world famous combo. Mostly 90% of the people will eat bread with jam only. So in a supermarket, they are going to purchase the 100 bread means they have to plan for 100 pieces bread means at least 60 to 70% of the jam should be purchased, because the person who are buying the bread will definitely buy the jam also. This is called the association rule. That is interdependency between the two products. Why we are using this association rules, we can able to predict. Suppose the customer is coming and asking, give me a bread, and he has, and next year give me the jam. The no jam means he won't. I go for the next job. It is used for prediction. Then applications of the data mining. The data mining is mostly used in the market analysis. Knowing about the buyer's need. What is the need of the buyer? What is the need of the buyer? The same thing. The customer buying the laptop means definitely they will go for the accessories for the laptops and software. They can inbuiltly we will know something. That is analyzing the data. First, we are analyzing the data, then extracting the pattern. That is history are the laptop accessories, softwares are interlinked and gaining the knowledge. What is the knowledge? If the customer buy the laptop means they will buy accessories, and that is a possible, not compulsory. That is a possible for buying the accessories and lap and softwares. This is our predicted knowledge. Using this decision, this is helpful for making the decision by purchasing the product. Suppose they are purchasing the laptop means they can go for purchase of the software because they can able to possibilities of sale is good. That is the knowing about the buyer's need. Then bioinformatics. In the field of medicine also, the data mining play a vital role for diagnosing the diseases based on the function of the function of a cells. Suppose in your body they are having the 60 percentage of irregular cells means they can able to predict he is suffering from cancer. He is maybe at the stage of 2 or 3 based on the data. By this what is this is the data. He is suffering from cancer 60%. We can analyze the previous data. Suppose the person suffers from any other persons uh, before 2 years is also in the same condition. What is this result? How is health? Which medicine helps to improve the health? Whether can we go for that? We can compare with the more number of patients and conclude with the result. It is very helpful in diseases analyzing because based on the past real history only we are analyzing and coming with the result. Then education. In the field of education also it play a vital role. Predicting the result. How means, for example, a student scoring 50 marks in the first internal and 60 marks in the second internal and again 70 marks in the third internal means his ratio is in the increasing level. We can able to predict, yeah, this man will surely pass in the university exam. We can able to predict he will pass, but it is not sure. We can able to predict. Our prediction may be 99%. It will be that only because he is increasing his ratio is increasing. His studying ratio is in the increasing way. He is putting the effect towards his studies, so it will give the better results. Likewise, we are predicting. That the last one is the weather forecasting, data analysis and information of the earth. Conserve. So how they are saying it is a flood. Suppose it is beyond the certain limit. The weather flow of the air is beyond the certain limit. They are predicting it may be a flood. They are predicting it is a huge flood. That is the that's the possibilities for huge rain. No, it is merely a normal thing based on the past data. They have analyzed and stored the past data. Based on only they are saying, yeah, it is beyond the last before 4 years. The same ratio of the wind has been blown. So the result of the wind blow is nearly so severe. So this time we can the flow of the wind may be in the up to this increase. It is up beyond the threshold level. So we have to make a precaution towards that. That is that based on the decision we are based on the prediction they are making the decision. Ask the people to not to come out. Make it as a leave. They should not come out. Impose them. What is the use? The people won't come. So because the flood ratio is too huge, the people won't come. They will sit in their home. They will be safe. Suppose the government does this. Suppose there is no data mining, they can't able to forecast, they can't able to predict based upon the past data means the losses will be high. This is the one of the important thing of the data mining. Okay, not only this, the data mining is applicable in every many fields. Today, it is the one of the most important field. Okay, ma'am, this is all about my today's video. Thank you. Thank you for watching. Thank you.